The other day, I showed how to use ChatGPT to convert an example I found on the web that demonstrated the three-parameter version of the Java reduce operator to use a more interesting example and also to use some more modern Java features. And it worked fairly well, but some people pointed out some limitations with what ChatGPT generated. So I thought I would show how trivial it is to get ChatGPT to generate a better solution while still sticking with the spirit of what we had done before. So the first thing I'm going to do is come in here and cut and paste this code example, which is kind of cool, but as you can see, it's a little bit unclear what it's trying to do. It has states with some kind of doubles, and it's not really clear what those things mean. So we're going to go ahead and cut and paste this code into ChatGPT, and then we're also going to go ahead and add a prompt to the beginning of it. So here's the prompt we're going to ask ChatGPT to use to analyze this code. It says, please read the following Java code that demonstrates the three-parameter version of the Java stream's reduced terminal operation and refactor it to use a more relevant example, such as mobile device products like smartphones or tablets. And also, please use the Map.ofEntries factory method to initialize the maps and ensure the maps are immutable. That's a little bit cleaner than using the double brace syntax because essentially it's creating immutable maps, and it's also demonstrating how you can avoid some of the downsides with the double brace format. So let's go ahead and hit enter, and we'll see what ChatGPT does. So it tells us it's going to regenerate the example to refactor it to use device products like smartphones and tablets. And then it explains what it's going to be doing. It's going to have a baseline map that will represent the baseline prices of the mobile devices. It'll then have another map that has the current prices of the devices, and both maps will be initialized using the Map.ofEntries factor method to make them immutable. And then it'll go ahead and essentially do what it was doing before, which is using the three-parameter version of reduce to find the difference between the baseline prices and the current prices. So here is the code it generates. As you can see here, it's using Map.ofEntries rather than the double braces syntax we used before, which eliminates some of the problems with double braces. And then it goes ahead and gives us a bunch of different types of mobile devices, iPhone 12, Galaxy S21, a Pixel 6, an iPad Pro. And I don't know if these are accurate prices, but they seem pretty much along the same lines. And then here would be perhaps the discount prices. And now we're going to go ahead and show the use of the three-parameter version of reduce, where it's going to take the sum and the map entry, check to see whether or not the actual contains the entry, and then it'll compute the difference between the prices, and it'll return that. And then down here, you can see it sums them together. And we could actually have it do some other stuff. For example, I could have said, please use a method reference here as opposed to a lambda expression, and of course it would do that. So this shows you how trivial it is to make that change. Just for kicks, let's see if we can say, please replace the use of the lambda expression sum1, sum2, arrow sum1 plus sum2 with a method reference for double sum. And we'll see if it can do that. I have a feeling it should be able to do that pretty easily. And notice how I don't have to give it any more context. I just have to continue the discussion from before, and it knows what I was discussing. You can see it's generating the code here. And so far, the code looks identical to before, except we'll see if it's able to use the lambda expression replacement with the method reference. And voila, there it goes. So yet another nice example of how you can have ChatGPT do your bidding without having to write any code, just to explain what you wanted it to do, and it will go ahead and do it. So I think that's a nice way to show how trivial it is to interact with ChatGPT in order to refine it to give a better solution than the one that we had come up with earlier.